Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Garry Glenn. We're talking lots of hoops in this one. And you know, there was a song that Dolly Parton came out about prior to Christmas time several years ago about springtime feelings in the middle of December. Well, we got a springtime sport we're going to talk to you later in the show about here in the opening of wintertime. But first of all, we're going to talk hoops, and we're going to talk college basketball. First, the Lion Scots, who went to 8-4 with a win, and it's a team that's received votes in the latest NAIA Top 25 poll, dominated the boards 49-27 to come away with a 66-52 victory over the Bernal Golden Tigers, who dropped to 8-2 with a loss at the Belhaven Classic. In addition to the rebound differential, the Tigers hurt themselves with a poor shooting day, hitting only 2 for 19 from behind the three-point arc and 1961 overall from the field. Sophomore captain Gabby Harvey out of Lilburn was the only player in double figures for Bernal, finishing with 12 points on 5 for 10 shooting. She also led the team with 6 steals. Now, prior to that game, Bernal had a 75-72 overtime win over Blue Mountain, Mississippi in that tournament at Belhaven. Freshman point guard Brittany Wiley scored a season-high 22 points, including a 5 for 10 effort from behind the arc, had 4 steals in the win. Sophomore Nikki Reed had her first start of the year, responded with 12 points and 9 rebounds with 3 assists and 3 steals. Okay, turning now to high school basketball. Despite the efforts of the Rushton sisters, the North Hall girls basketball team lost to Franklin County 58-46 last week in the Hooch Holiday Classic at Chattahoochee High. Mary Kate scored 17 points, and McKenna Rushton added 13 points and 9 rebounds. The North Hall boys dropped their second straight game, 74-71 to Class 5A Alpharetta at the Hooch Classic. Trojans then rebounded as Lance White scored a game-high 17 points, and North Hall took an 84-68 win over Loganville. Imani Cross and Candler Coker added 15 apiece. Ethan Smith chipped in with 11 for the Trojans, who ended their stay with a 72-65 loss to Chattahoochee. Chris Barnes with 17, Smith 14, and Cross 11. And then in the regular season game, North Hall and West Hall split. North Hall girls got a double-double from Sarah Pascal with 23 points and 10 rebounds as the Lady Trojans won 53-42. McKenna Rushton also pulled a DD with 13 points and 10 rebounds. Amber Johnson led West Hall with 16 points. West Hall boys got the split with a 73-67 win. Shunquest Stevens led the Spartans with 22, and Coker led the Trojans with 12. Chestatee girls rebounded from their Lanierland loss by smothering Alexander 45-13. Peyton Robertson led with 15 points and 4 rebounds. Peyton with 19 points and 5 more boards in a 64-39 loss to 5A's number 6 ranked Hillgrove at the Lake Allatoona Christmas Classic. Lady War Eagles then crushed South Atlanta 63-28. Robertson had 18 points and 5 rebounds, and Melissa Bailey with 8 points and 7 boards. At the JHS Holiday Shootout at Johnson High School was a big day for Johnson's Caitlin Sloan. She scored 21 points and grabbed 8 rebounds to lead the Lady Knights to a 43-19 win over Lakeview. Also at that tournament, the Johnson boys were hoping for a little revenge against Riverwood, the team that had knocked them out of the playoffs last year. Didn't happen. In the semifinals of the shootout, the Raiders grabbed control of the game in the second quarter, then hung on for a 60-50 win at the Johnson Gym. Ty Odom had a double-double with 11 points and 12 rebounds. Matt Hollis scored 11, while Cam Schofield had 10 points to go with his 8 rebounds for the Knights. And the Knights wound up third at that tournament with a 64-49 win over North Forsyth. Ty Odom with 18 points and pulled down 14 rebounds. Forsyth Central beat the Johnson girls 57-44 despite 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 steals from Caitlin Sloan. North Forsyth also beat the Lakeview girls 49-26. Not bad games from some of their big guns, but the Dorman boys from South Carolina still beat East Hall 80-61 in the Upward Classic in Spartanburg, South Carolina. J.C. Hampton knocked down 7 three-pointers and finished with a team-high 21 points for the Vikings. Keemon Woods scored 14 points, while Sterling Bailey had 9 points and 7 rebounds for East Hall. Vikings, by the way, were without Chaz Cheeks at that tournament. He was in Columbus for the GACA All-Star football game. I'll tell you more about that football game in a little bit. East Hall did bounce back in the next game with the defending AAA West Virginia State champion and top-ranked Logan team. Vikes put 6 guys in double digits, and they won it 78-64. Dre Perry and J.C. Hampton scored 15 apiece to lead the Vikings to the win. Keemon Woods, Brian Edwards, Sterling Bailey, and Chris Orr each came up with 10 points, with Bailey pulling down 18 rebounds. East Hall wound up losing the 5th-place game, though 67-64 in the closing seconds to Olympia out of North Carolina. Olympia scored 5 points in the last 20 seconds. J.C. Hampton with 22. He did make the all-tournament team. All right, time now to name our athletes of the week, and it comes from East Hall for the males for the second straight week. This time it's J.C. Hampton out of East Hall basketball all-tournament at that prestigious South Carolina event. And for our female athlete of the week, Caitlin Sloan out of Johnson Basketball, she had a pretty good week. Well, you know what? We've talked some hoops, so we're going to be back with an official's point of view on basketball when Hall County Sports Television continues.